shit. Okay. So I have opened the browser, after which I am executing my code for searching in Google.
Okay.
Okay, what would be our usual Google scenario would be, I'll do google.com. After doing google.com, I'll come here, I'll enter my query, my sample query is Anusha query, then I will either hit enter or I will click on the search button, right?
Yeah.
So that is what I'm trying to do for now. When loading google.com website, I don't directly go and start typing. I will have to wait for it till it loads this element, right?
Right.
So for waiting, we added this ex I'm sorry, explicit wait command. Okay.
Oh, okay. It's not like the thread dot sleep. It's different.
No, we had three different things: thread dot sleep, and then implicit wait, and then explicit wait, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So in implicit wait, we will simply wait for 10 seconds and still be active on the page. In thread dot sleep, it's like nothing is active. Your machine has gone dumb. That's all. And
Okay.
okay, doesn't have any interaction with the web page anymore. And explicit wait is something like human. Okay, we wait for this to appear. We just don't wait for 10 seconds. We wait for things to appear, right? You got my point? Like we wait for this.
Okay. Explicit wait. We wait for until the.
Whatever element we want, we will wait for it to come up.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so here I'm trying to wait for my logo.
Oh, okay. You are initializing a wait for like 10 seconds and then you're just waiting until your logo is sent. So that's the meaning of
Yeah,
that two lines.
yes. So
Okay.
here I'm initializing a WebDriver wait and I'm giving a condition. So expected conditions is a class where you have all the required classes. Okay, let me go here. Oh no, the source will not come with Selenium. That is the problem. Okay, no worries. Not even this. Documentation. So there is implicit wait and then we have explicit wait, and explicit wait will get lost. Yeah, so these are the examples that we have in explicit wait. Element to be clickable means sometimes this thing loads and we won't be able to click on it until some time. Okay, it needs some time to load and then we will be able to click on it, because they have like added a condition that until the whole website is loaded, user should not be able to click on it, something like that. Or right, that happens a lot of times in other websites. Until it loads, we won't be able to click on the next further step, right?
Okay.
So if we have something like that, a slow response, basically all the explicit waits are used for a slow responsive phenomena. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so we will wait for the element to be clickable. So wait until, this is the same what we wrote, right? Expected conditions, still here it's the same. Here it will change like element to be clickable,
Okay.
right? So it means that it will wait for whatever element has this X path, and it will check if it has the href component, href attribute loaded, and it will check when I hover my mouse on it like this, either the element should highlight or my mouse should change into a hand symbol, something, some specifications like that. When I go to Google India, it means that it is not clickable here, right?
Mm. Yeah.
But when I go here, it looks like clickable, something clickable.
Okay.
So it has multiple conditions, like the element's href is active. That is what it sees in the end. So it will wait till the element is ready to be clicked,
Okay. Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then text to be present in the element. So mostly this one thing will keep changing. The remaining part will be the same. Wait until expected conditions by XPath and some sort of XPath.
Okay.
Okay, this one thing will change every time you change all these wait conditions. And if it is text, an additional text should be given.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so element to be clickable is one, text to be present in the given element. Okay, I have clicked on a submit button, and for example, we have a form like this. Okay, once we have some form, I did some operation here. Okay, once I did that operation, for example, I clicked on something like this. After clicking on it, this thing will also change, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I will, after clicking on it, I will wait for this text to change.
Mm-hmm.
Got my sense what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we will wait until the text, the element text is Anusha meaning.
Okay.
Okay, so the element should change. Well, wait for the element to change.
Okay.
And then alert is present. Wait for the alert to pop up. Sometimes we will click on save button, everything will be saved, and then we get a pop-up like your form has been submitted successfully.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but the alert does not come immediately. It will take some time to show up the alert, right?
Yeah.
In such a cases, we will wait till the alert has come. So, this
Okay.
is how we wait. Wait until expected conditions alert dot present not equal to null. Means we should get some alert, not a blank alert.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not equal to null. When we say alert is present, it will return null if there is no alert. So we should wait until it is not null.
Hmm.
Got my point?
Yeah.
Okay. Then sometimes this is the title on the top here. Let me highlight the practical use of messenger, search,
Okay.
direct to some DP cooler, test report, WhatsApp. All these are called titles. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at WhatsApp, it will be usually WhatsApp. But because I have some unread message, it shows as one in the brackets. Okay. So my test case would be something like someone will send me a message
Mm.
and the title of the browser containing WhatsApp should change from WhatsApp to number 2 parenthesis WhatsApp. Number 3, I'm just sending it from another phone.
Yeah, yeah, got it, got it.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, so
So
it should change. Okay, so
Yeah.
the title should change. So
Hmm.
this is such a scenario. Expected conditions title is, okay, instead of Gmail I'll write something like parenthesis 3 WhatsApp,
Okay.
right?
Hmm.
Then I will read a message, then I will say parenthesis 2 WhatsApp,
Yeah.
right? So it takes some time for it to refresh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So whatever the time to refresh is, that time to refresh is given here: 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
If the time to refresh is 100 seconds, I'll give 120 seconds to be on safer side,
Okay. Yeah.
right? Because I might have slow internet connection at some point of time, so I will give, if it is 10 seconds, I'll give 15 seconds to be on good side. Okay. After giving it, I will say
Okay.
title is number 2 WhatsApp. Okay, so titles keep changing at some point of time in few test cases. For that we will be using title as. Then we know frames.
Hmm.
Okay, so if we have a website containing lot of stuff,
JPEG, JUnit, those frames? Or
that is framework. It's not frame.
okay, this is the iframe in the XPath,
Yes,
then
yes, yes.
okay,
This is
then
the
okay.
iframe thingy.
Hmm.
So we usually have frames in very complicated websites. Okay, so if something is, for example, we have this crick info.
Hmm.
Okay, so if some sort of match is going on, we get a new frame inserted here, and only that frame gets refreshed all the
Right,
time.
yeah,
The whole website is not getting refreshed, right?
yeah.
So when you have bits and pieces of refresh required, we add frames into the website. Okay.
Hmm.
so that's what frames are used for.
Yes, frames are used to split your website into pieces, bits and pieces, so that only that bit or piece will react. And for example, we will have this web science for login. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. Here. So the remaining thing is the same, even if my login, I just try to log in. The remaining thing is constant. Only a new frame got inserted,
Right, yeah.
right? So when there is something called refresh, these frames will come into picture. Okay. So we will wait for the frame to pop up. In the website which we saw just now for the ICICI, everything stayed back the same and a new frame got inserted when I gave a wrong username and password.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I will wait for such a frame to load.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then with frames we cannot work directly like how we are interacting here. I'm directly going and entering the send keys and clicking here. Okay, like this we cannot interact. Before this, I have to do something like driver dot switch to dot frame and give some XPath here. Okay, like this. Fine.
Mm.
After switching to, then only I will be able to interact with it. So, are yeah. So I have this. Oh, continue to log in. Find out I'll say login, and a new thing has come up. Okay. So
So it
one,
keeps
sorry,
track of your logins as well.
I didn't get you.
Like if you're like when it says you made two unsuccessful attempts, that means it's keeping track, right? From one to however many attempts you're.
Yes, yes, because this is a bank website, it has to. The maximum attempts is 3. Next time my account will be logged.
Okay.
Okay, now I will move to this frame. Forget about that. Yeah. So whatever frame this is in, I'll have to switch to that frame and then click on this X message.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot go and directly click on this. I'll have to switch to frame and then I'll have to click on the X. Okay,
Okay.
makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for that, instead of switching to manually, okay, when waiting itself, it will switch to the frame here.
Okay.
So wait until frame to be available and then switch to it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, we have to switch to it. Without switching to it, we cannot work on it. Right?
Yeah.
So it will switch to it. These are few expected conditions. So yeah, this is a complete list of expected conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alert is present. We have seen it. Okay. And is used to combine multiple expected conditions. Then we have like element to be clickable, which we've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Element to be selected, that means we have a check, something like a checkbox or a multi-select box. Okay, we have selected the element. So there are few websites which load first and then the selections and all we have done will load next.
Yeah.
Right. So for such things we will be waiting till the selections appear.
Okay.
Got my point? So we'll wait till the element to be selected, then frame to be available and switch to it. Then if we want something to disappear after the, we have something like when we select one checkbox, 2, 3 other options appear below. When we unselect them, those 2, 3 options will collapse.
Yeah.
So we have to wait till those elements are invisible, right?
Yeah.
So that is the invisibility of, okay. Then not is like opposite, logical opposite. If it is true, it will become false.
Mm.
So it's just to get the opposite one of it. It's not. So then we have yeah. Right now I have used something called presence of element located. Okay, that means that element has loaded on the page or not. That's all. So it's a very simple one. Okay, then page got refreshed or page got outdated,
Okay.
and text matches. Just like I told you, the title will change once I get a new message.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the text might change.
Okay.
When I react to the page, in the response, the text might change. Similarly, we have a lot of them. We cannot mug up all of them, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And explanation is there down
Okay.
if they are going to do what and how and all that. Tells are present. Okay, for someone who has experience, they can just look at it and understand. But someone who don't know it, they might need some understanding, which is provided below. Okay, so from them, I have taken something called visibility of element located. So where is this? It's here. Let me go. Okay, an expectation for checking that an element is present in the page and is visible.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, it's not hidden anywhere, it is shown up on the screen. Okay,
Okay.
so it's not only displayed but also it has a height and width which is greater than 0.
Yeah.
Right? Then we have something called presence of element located, like this. Okay, so what is presence of element located? So So that element should be there. This does not necessarily signify that the element is visible.
Okay.
So sometimes we might have like, where is this? Yeah. The Google logo is hidden.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It is present in the website, but here in this, there will be something like hide equal to true.
Okay.
Some new attribute saying hide equal to true. Okay, that means that element is present but it is hidden.
Okay.
So presence of element located is not bothered if it is hidden or not. Visibility of element is bothered if hide is true.
Okay.
So two different conditions. Okay. So I've said like visibility of element located. So I am waiting for the logo to show up on my screen. Once it
Yeah.
shows up, then start working on it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what the hell? Okay. I have waited for the logo. After waiting for the logo to come up, now that my website has loaded, I will start entering my keys. Okay. My query word, whatever it is. Once I start entering the query, what do I need? I need the box, the search box, whatever it is, and then in that search box I have to give my value. So here in line number 32, I'm getting my search box or query box with the help of its XPath. So how do I read any element like box, button, checkbox, whatever it is? How do I read an element? I read elements from the web page with the help of something called web element. So in the beginning, if you notice, there is something called web element.
Yeah.
Okay, so with the help of this web element, I will a web element is a advanced data type or object, what I might call. Okay,
Okay.
so it's an object from a class which can store these HTML elements, be it a div or be it a input, be it a button, be it a frame, whatever it is. This web element will take care of these things. Okay,
Okay.
so I will store my search box into a new web element called query box.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how do I actually get the web element? I get the web element with help of driver.findElement. So findElement is a function which helps me read the web element. Okay,
Mm. Okay.
so how do I find the elements? With the help of XPath ID, class name, name, all those identifiers which we have learned previously. Okay, if I look at this, I'm just duplicating it for a convenience. Okay, by dot. So we have class name, CSS, ID, link text name, partial tag name, XPath. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
we have so many of them, all these till XPath, right?
Yeah.
So I have taken XPath. From XPath, I will give the XPath inside the brackets. Okay, so I will get the element with the help of XPath with a given XPath, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So once I got this XPath, once I got my query box wherever it is, then I will start giving it whatever text I want to give, like Anusha query or something. Whatever I want to type, I will type, right? And so the simple thing which we do, it looks so complicated when automating.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but once you automate, it will do on its own forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is called artificial intelligence. So to make it understand what is this box, you had to give two lines of code. So
Yeah.
imagine how designing a robot would be,
Yeah.
right? So after providing this, after providing this, I either have to hit on my enter key in the keyboard or I have to click on the search box and search button. Okay, if I have to hit enter, I would do like this. Mm, keys dot enter. Okay, if I had to provide the enter thing, I can do this, or if I want to click, I can click like this because I wanted to show you how to write a click. I did
Yeah.
this. Okay, so this or this I'll just put this in comments, but that can be used to hit enter. You have tab key, you have shift key, you have down arrow, up arrow, you have page down, home, end, insert, delete, everything. All the keys which you have on the keyboard will be present in this. Okay, so these are the keys. Add, alt, cancel, clear, command. Command is what is present in a MacBook. So delete, the divide, slash key, numerical key. In the numpad we have it. And enter, equal to symbol in the numpad, escape, all the functions on the top, help, home, insert, left arrow. Okay, enter. So I don't know what the use of the stupid button is, the Google search, because as and when I start entering it, okay, that page is gone.
Yeah.
I never got a chance to click it. At least I am feeling lucky it will take me to somewhere. Okay, like it will show you what happened in the past. The Google changes, right, logo?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It will
All
show.
those previous changes can be seen here when you click I'm feeling lucky. Okay, but I never understood what the use of the stupid button is. So that means there is a bug in the very homepage on a Google website, which they never noticed. Yeah, I had. So Anusha and then hit enter. Okay, that could be done with the help of this, or Anusha then hit the button, can also be done. So how do we hit this button? When you want to hit this button, it is called click. We usually hit the button, but they say it as click in Selenium.
Yeah.
So for that, first we have to get where it is, get the web element. So same web element driver dot find element by xpath. Then search, but I stored it in a variable called search button.
Yeah.
So that would be search button dot click. Okay, so make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So once we do this web element and search, it has to show all the results. And so there are two things that we are going to do in Selenium. One is operation, one is expectation or validation. Okay, operations are something which we do physically, like entering the text, clicking on this link, or clicking on the sign in button, clicking on the logo. All those are physical operations. Okay, then there are some things called validations which we do with the eye. We don't have any actions to do with our hands. Other thing we do is we do it with the eye. Okay, so what is it that we do? After hitting on the search button, we see that the results are loaded fine, the photos have come up, right? We don't click, we don't do anything. You're getting me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Something our eye does. It's not our hand which is doing it. Something our eye does. So those are called validations. Okay. So actions and validations. We have two things that we do in Selenium. And physically we don't significantly separate them when writing test cases. Okay. But once you start automating, you have to separate them in the test cases as well. Okay. So when writing test cases, you say like provide the search query here, click on search button. Once providing the search query here, it should take to a new page
Mm-hmm.
and suggestion should come in the bottom. That will be your expected results. Okay, then
Yeah.
after clicking on the search page, you will have expected result like the suggestion should be gone now, no new suggestion should come up, and relevant results should come up here,
Mm-hmm.
right? So whatever is in the test steps are actions, whatever is in the expected results are called as
Validation.
validations. Okay, in the test steps sometimes we write like verify that the results are shown appropriately, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so when we write something like that in the test case, it doesn't have any significance during Selenium. All we have is actions or validations. So verify that blah 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 is covered under validation anyway.
Mm.
Right, so all the most of the expected conditions go into validations and most of the actions will go into actions. Most of the test steps will go into actions. Most of the expected results will go into validations. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that actions versus validations. If you know the difference, it is actually easy to write the test cases also. Because you don't write all these stupid steps saying that verify, blah, 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 validate, blah, blah, blah. That is covered in expected result. Man, why do you have to write it again? There's no point. So actions versus validations. That is how your test cases should be. Right? So when your manager reviews your test cases and rejects them, this is one of the main points
Mm-hmm.
and that test cases get rejected. Okay, okay, because test cases should be very crisp. You don't have to write passages and blogs when writing test cases. All you have to write is do this and I want to get this. Do this and I want to get this. Action validation. That's all. Right. Then, so for now, whatever we have done are actions. We did not cover any validation here. Okay, validations we'll see in the next session. I don't want to bump up you with the stuff. I already know that these expected conditions itself is a big topic for you to go on for today for understanding. Okay, and then so this is the website seleniumhq.github.io/docs is where you have the detailed documentation of everything. Okay, then if I want to get the documentation of find element. Okay, docs, web driver, what's going on? Web element. Okay, so we have this web element. Okay, in line number 33, we have the web element object. To understand the web element, this is where we go. So, what all the operations can we do on a web element? Web element is nothing but HTML element. Okay, so on to get the web element, we do find element. Okay, like here it is given. Find the first web element using the given method. So then we have like click clear means clear is like I have this text, I want to remove it. Backspace. So I type hell lot of thing and I select everything, delete. Okay, that is the functionality of clear. It will clear the value. It will remove everything. Select all, delete. Then we have seen click to click the search button. Then we have seen find element to obtain the element present on the web page for providing the intelligence required to Selenium. Okay, that we use find element and by XPath or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
And if we have multiple elements with the same XPath,
Mm-hmm.
for example, the results, all the results can have same XPath.
Yeah. Common
Can
XPath.
have. Okay, we got the common XPaths, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, so when getting the common XPaths, we will do find elements. Instead of single, we will do multiple elements. Okay?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Then we have get attribute. For example, we wanted the href for this first link.
Mm.
Okay. So what is the link? Target link. In the bottom of the browser on the left corner, you see that https en wikipedia org wiki. That is the link. If you inspect in Firepath, that link is provided in href like this. Href equal to this one. Okay.
Are those randomized coding?
Sorry.
Like, is that all randomized?
Randomized as in?
Like where the href is, right? Equals URL, all that data that's in there. Like
Yeah,
the
it depends. It depends on how the website is developed. Because
uh,
here they are providing another field called URL. Okay.
yeah,
There is no point in providing href equal to this. You can
yeah.
say href equal to URL, right? That is what they have done. Href equal to another parameter.
Okay.
In Wikipedia, org, and blah blah blah. Okay. Yeah. And okay. So and this so if I want to get this attribute of href, I will use this. Instead of dot click, I will say dot get attribute href. Okay. Href should be in double quotes because it wants a string. It says this signifies what it wants. It wants a string. It wants a string, that means you have to put it in double quotes. Okay, let me show you something which we have done. Yeah. So send keys. Send keys says char sequence. Char sequence is nothing but a string. But string has limitations, like we have int, float, double, which keeps on increasing in size, right? String might also have some limitation at a point of time, so we use char sequence if we have a lot of stuff. What do we search in Google? Usually we will search something like how to get XPath of a logo when the logo is hidden temporarily. Something like this, right? We will be giving something so long. So it usually picks up something called char sequence. This signifies the data type for the argument for this function called send case. Similarly, for get attribute, it should be string. So if we are doing get attribute, it is something like query box dot get attribute href. Okay. Uh, so it looks something like this: string in double quotations. Char sequence is also similar to string. It looks just the same, but it's quite long. Okay. So I'm just removing this, keeping it as this. Then we have lot such things: get size, get tag name, okay, get text is displayed, whether it is displayed or not. We had this hide option, right? Hide equal to true.
Yeah.
So when we have hide equal to true, we want to check if it is displayed or not actually. So is displayed. Then we have check boxes sometimes which are disabled. Only few options are enabled. So is enabled. Checkbox is selected or not. Okay, and then there are scenarios where you fill up the entire form and hit on your enter key and it will submit the form.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to click on submit button all the time. You just click on the enter
Yeah.
key and it will submit. Enter or return or whatever key you have on your keyboard, it will submit the form. In such cases, you can use this submit. Okay. And then we have few other methods like get screenshot as blah blah blah, which you have clear understanding here. Okay. So you can go through expected conditions, web elements. Two things. Okay. Web element is backbone for Selenium because whatever action we do is present here. We will read the text, we will get the element, we will click on it, we will give the text, we will clear it. Okay, I'm telling only actions, not validations.
Yeah.
So all the actions are covered here. Apart from this, there is one more class. One second, guys. Yeah, so we have one more class called actions. Find element actions. Yeah. Okay, in which we have again click, mouse over, drag and drop. You able to see my screen?
Yes,
Hello?
Anusha.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. The other side was damn silent and I just got puzzled. Yeah. So, we have some scenarios wherein we have to take our mouse literally for something to appear.
Yeah.
Like, when I hover my mouse, then only I will be able to see the count over here. Defect 212628.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to literally move my cursor. Selenium works cursorless. It doesn't need
Okay.
cursor to click. It doesn't need cursor to enter text. It doesn't need keyboard to enter text. Okay. It's not like QTP. QTP needs your mouse and keyboard, but this doesn't use your mouse and keyboard. So if there are any specific functions where you really need the mouse and keyboard, they are put under this class called actions. Web element is something which you don't need your mouse and keyboard. Actions are something which simulate the real interaction of mouse and keyboard.
Okay.
Okay, that is the difference. Whatever might be. Oh, great. That is what is written here. Right. So your mouse and keyboard simulation is done using this class called actions instead of web element. So
Okay, like the case you showed when you have to hover. So there's a function called hover or something.
yeah, there is a function like move by offset. It moves your mouse from its current position by the number of pixels that we have given. Offset means number of pixels.
Okay, okay,
Okay, then we have something called move to element. With the help of XPath also we can move.
okay, yeah.
Okay, so move to element moves, for example, where the hell is this? Yeah. So I have this thing. I want to move to the center of this element. That can be done with move to element, move by element. It doesn't need the coordinates and everything. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So move to element, and from the middle of the from the top left corner of the element, where do I want to move?
Okay.
Sometimes I'd want to move. Where is this? Yeah. So this is my element, and I'll inspect. Okay, when I hover, you see a square box instead of the semicircle, because elements are defined that way.
Oh,
Circular elements cannot be present in HTML. All HTML elements are rectangles only. Okay,
okay.
so the first one looks okay, but when I go to the this one, okay, so this one, the orange one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it starts from here, the orange top corner. Even when I hover the mouse, it starts from somewhere else, as you see.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have to give some specific coordinates for it to go to the center. For this and for this, the actual middle of the box is different and the actual element is different. If I go to the center of the square box, rectangular box which I see, it will hover my mouse on the adjacent section of my chart,
Mm-hmm.
the middle. So I have to give some offset for it to hover exactly. Okay, don't worry about the offset. The offset can be obtained from the coordinates that are present here. Don't worry. Okay. So this 44470 is like x coordinates, x and y coordinates of one point. This is for the left point. This is for the bottom point of the triangle. So I calculate the center of the triangle and say offset. You got my point, right?
Yeah, got it, got it.
Yeah, so move to element. So my mouse is going to literally move to that element. Okay, so now this is actually hidden. What I see on my screen is not Chrome. I have opened Firefox and I'm working on something on my own. Okay, it does not open this browser and start taking your mouse there. Okay, it does not use your physical keyboard and mouse. It just simulates it.
Okay.
Okay, even if your browser went to the background, it would still simulate your mouse and keyboard actions with your physical keyboard and mouse working on something else.
Okay.
Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. Then send keys we have seen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, release is like sometimes you have to click and hold the mouse. Yeah, here, click and hold. Clicks
Yeah.
without releasing. Then once we say release, then only it will release.
Okay.
Okay, and then double click. Context click is nothing but right click. Context click means right click. Okay,
Okay.
and the menu which appears after doing a right click is called as context menu.
Okay.
So most of the times we don't know what to call this and we say the menu, but this is called context menu. Once we right click it as context menu, and the right click is called as context click actually. Okay, because we use the custom left click and right click given by the Windows, but there are a few people who switch the keys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, primary button is left or right. So
Yeah.
for a person who is a left-handed, he might want to switch them for his ease of access, right? So we cannot universalize the right click.
Mm.
So it is called context click.
Context click. Okay.
Yeah. And so then there is this drag and drop. So sometimes we will have two boxes. We have to drag from the left box and put it into the right side box to include options, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have this cart. From the cart we have something like wish list and cart, two boxes. From wish list we drag and drop into cart.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there might be such things. And drag and drop in a mobile, we drag the icons and drop it into somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, something similar. Whenever we have this drag and drop, we have to give the source and target where to get the element from and where to drop it to.
Okay.
Okay. Then press a down key, press up key, move. Pause is like sleep again.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm. So whatever we do, the click or whatever, okay, we after giving the instructions, we will say perform. So
Okay.
driver dot move to element dot perform. Driver dot key up dot perform. Driver dot click and hold dot perform. Okay, and for performing, it's like we use this something called build. Right. So what else we have done today? And try catch. Try catch we have seen in Java anyways. Okay, try catch finally. So I wanted to close my browser at the end of my test case because my browser was staying right then and there and I couldn't understand what's happening. So I put it in finally and then I tried what I have to do. The main thing which I have to do is put into try. After
Okay.
trying, if in case something fails over here due to an exception, it could be syntax error or it could be wrong XPath, whatever the failure is, that failure will be reported with the help of this exception occurred. I just print it like this for me to understand where it went.
Okay. What's the other E? Why are we
The
giving E?
other E is the actual exception which we caught from here.
Okay, we can just give it in the same thing, like after the quotes, right?
Sorry?
Exception occurred, E. I mean, like, yeah,
Yes, this can be done.
yeah. Okay.
Okay. I just want to print both of them on separate lines.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so for that I'll have to do like slash n
Then, yeah.
slash n then plus then e.
Plus E. Mm.
So instead of that I have done like two system out printlns.
Okay.
We can club them or we can do it whatever we want like this and then plus e. This also makes sense. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So go through these for today, whatever we have done. And if you see for a very small program.
Mm-hmm. We have so many inputs.
Yes, I didn't write any of those imports. I just did
Yeah.
Control Shift O, Control Shift O, Command Shift O, whatever the machine you're using depends on that. So
Okay.
okay, I remove now. Control Shift O. All of them are back.
No.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So try to understand these Firefox driver, Chrome, or IE or Firefox. How do we open? Then try catch. Okay, then manage class, window class, maximize class in the documentation, like how we saw for actions and web element. Try to look at those documentations. This is how we got manage Java Selenium documentation, or simply say maximize. Okay, so it has taken you to the window class and driver dot manage dot window, right? In window we have maximize.
Yeah, yeah.
So in window class, full screen, position, size, maximize is what I have used. You have set position.
Mm-hmm.
So we sometimes do this like this. We drag it our own, right? We adjust the shape and size of the browser. So that is called set position and set size.
Okay.
So when you say set position, it means this top right corner of the browser. Set size means this one, the entire size, height and width.
Okay.
Maximize and get size means get the current position and size wherever they are. Full screen is the F11 key. If I press F11, I won't see all the tabs which I have on the top. I'll see only my browser. That is F11. This is maximize. Okay, so in window we have all these. Okay. Yeah, so we'll go through each of the words that we have used in this function here, right? Okay, then we'll catch up tomorrow on.
We haven't gone through the Celinese commands yet, right?
These are all Selenium commands only.
You mean the WebDriver?
Yeah, the Firefox driver, web element, WebDriver wait, WebDriver, web element, WebDriver wait, and
Okay.
send keys, clear, click.
Click. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Catch is Java. It's not Selenium.
Yeah, I am Java. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Right. Then thread dot sleep is also Java. It's not Selenium.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Driver dot quit is Selenium again.
Selenium. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I've told you. You have like hardly 100 commands in Selenium, but the rest of the things will be in Java.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll be going one by one in Selenium. So today we have done like 3 to 4 of them. Wait, then expected conditions, then web element, then the operations inside the web element, find element. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll connect the next tomorrow.
Sure. Okay.
All right. Then see you guys. But keep practicing.
Yeah.
Yeah.